Welcome to a rather meaningful episode 21. I'm Jay, he is Drew. 21, Mr. Lasker, a significant number in your life. We know as athletes we are precious about our jersey number, but give us some background to your long-serving number.
Yeah, man, it's not this crazy special story or anything. It's just one of those things where, like, I've had the number 21 since as long as I can remember, maybe like 10 or 12 years old. And as you mentioned before, like, basketball players, we're real when it comes to our numbers. Like, we love our numbers, and I've just had it. And it's more than just a jersey number to me now. Obviously, my businesses are named after it. And there's only been one point where I haven't had it. It was actually when I signed for Plymouth in 2010 in December. A guy had already had number 21, so I had to play a number 4, and it felt disgusting.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Like Terry Ho had 21 and I had 4, and it just felt horrible. So, but yeah, man, 21 means a lot to me.
Love it. And look, I went back in the vault. I probably should have looked into this with Daniel Routledge or something like that. But I did find in 08-09 BBL trophy statistics, playing for my beloved Plymouth Raiders, you averaged 21 points per game. So for those young cats out there, he was a walking bucket.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm actually the all-time leading scorer at Plymouth. So, good luck to anyone who wants to. I have to throw myself some shine every once in a while. Everybody else gets it.
Yeah, it's not enough that we're doing an ode to Drew Lasker for his number 21. He wants to throw a little bit more shine in there, but that's fine. Hey, let's get locked into this week in the BBL. Our guest today is former North Carolina Tarheel and now star guard for the Glasgow Rocks, Christian Keeling. We have the scores on the doors with Mr. Lasker, Player of the Week nominations, the Lasker Look Back. We play a little game of 21s, but first, let's get it. It's the Marriott Minute. Okay, intrigued me. BBL League business. Surrey Scorchers make a change. Out goes Skylar White, and in comes Dean Wanlitz. Matthew Bryan Manning, MBA is back, popping up now with the Cheshire Phoenix. Best of luck to him. And Sheffield Sharks coming up with a hot stat that even got Mr. Routledge off his chair. Guard Nicholas Lewis is Mr. Second Half. 116 of his 173 points this season have come in the second half. Coaches, get your notebooks out. Check out the post for deeper breakdowns on this. Pretty cool stat. Okay, engage me. A time to vent. I'm a competitive guy, and our top 5 sports movies of all time with the great Nat Coombs resulted in me finishing third with a measly 21%. Ridiculous. I'm pulling a Trump right now. I want a recount. Okay, a little heat in the Riders-Sharks game. Sharks highlighting at the half the high level of turnovers by General Gino Crandall, who went on to ice the game with a piece of individual brilliance, then tweeting, "Enjoy the ride home." 1-0 to the General. I stay with the Riders here as we saw Jamal Anderton humorously saying, "Me and this camera software team need to have a conversation," as once again it missed one of its fast break highlights. A frustration for all, I would imagine. Amused me. Okay, Bristol Flyers, Aussie point guard and friend of the show, Josh Wilshere, showing his dry sense of humor, tweeting, "We'll miss a lot about basketball when I stop playing. Road trips to Newcastle, not one of them." I hear you, buddy. Mark Woods with pure comedy gold. A picture of Anthony Rowe and Kieran Achara on Sky Sports brought this little gem in reference to their outfits. Live tonight, the Milk Tray Man versus the man at M&S. I say we need that answer. We'll fire up that picture this week and get a little vote going. I'll give you the winner next week. Very funny, Mr. Woods. And lastly, our boy Desi Reels is in the doghouse. His picture posing with our very own Drew Lasker in a fresh Newcastle Eagles jersey raised a response from the Leicester Riders, presenting us with an absolute gem of an old school picture with Connor Washington. But it didn't end there. He has officially been called to the principal's office as GM Russell Livingston will be waiting. Results are pending. And that wraps up this week's Marriott Minute. I'm always watching.
Great minute as always, my friend. But now we shift to scores and highlights of the week. Begin on Friday night in Newcastle, where Desi Reels and Mansour was in the house and watched up close as Justin Gordon soared over Daniel Adozie and his Bristol Flyers 88-83. And did Flesher send a message as the best PG in the league with 18 points and 15 dimes? Well, 100 miles away, General Gino said, "I one up you, Flesh," put his chips to the center and said all in, hitting a game winner floater over Sheffield Sharks, winning 75-73 at Morningside Arena as William Lee had a double-double with 11 points and 10 rebounds. Sky Sports Game of the Week was a battle of the wooden spoon, and it looks like Creon message ran loud and clear as Surrey displayed their most defensive intensity all season, winning their first road game since November 2019, defeating the Rocks 93-86 with Captain Teo netting a game-high 20 points and 6 rebounds. Moving along to Jay's hometown where the Plymouth Raiders stayed hot, making it 3 in a row, beating the shorthand Giants 97-74 with our guy AGP Hamilton putting up an effortless 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Moving the action along to Sunday, where the Riders hosted the Surrey Scorchers and said, "We're not the Rocks. It's levels to this, son," defeating the Scorchers 103-76. And finally, we finished the week in Manchester, where I've said all along, the Giants are 1 or 2 injuries away from their season being derailed as they dropped 2 consecutive games over the weekend, losing to the newly signed NBA and the Cheshire Phoenix 88-70. And that wraps up the BBL action for the week.
Great roundup right there. Okay, Player of the Week nominations are back, and we have 3 top-level stars for you, starting with Ramon Fletcher, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 15 assists, 29 index, double. We then go to Plymouth, Ashley Hamilton, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 29 index. And then we head to Leicester. General Gino Crandall wants to go head-to-head with Ramon this week, 19 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, keeps flirting with that triple-double for a 26 index. Get your votes in, guys. We are back. We know we picked it for you last week, but we want to get back to those votes, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the tweets. Okay, Mr. Lasker, let's lead us into this segment as we go to the Lasker Look Back.
In this episode of the Lasker Look Back, we take a look at the North Carolina Tar Heels and its influence in the British Basketball League. When we think of that powder blue, 2 names come to mind: Michael Jeffrey Jordan and Coach Dean Smith. You might have heard of them. But I can hear the BBL fans screaming at their radios right now, but wait, what about Steve Bucknell? Well, you're right. Steve enrolled at Chapel Hill 1 year after MJ was drafted to the Bulls. Including Bucknell, there have been a total of 6 Tar Heels that have laced it up in the British Basketball League. Brian Reese played for the Manchester Giants back in the early 2000s. Bucknell, of course, last suited for the Leicester Riders in the 05-06 season, my rookie year. 2 seasons later, current head coach of UNC Greensboro, Wes Miller, suited up for the London United, remember them? Even scoring 50 points that season on his way out the door. Following Wes's footsteps, Mike Copeland joined the Glasgow Rocks in 2010 season before teaming up with myself in Guildford in 2011, where ironically, 2 games into his Heat debut, he suffered a career-ending injury one snowy Sunday afternoon in Glasgow, tearing his patellar tendon. 2 years later, Nate Britt signs for the Glasgow Rocks, and now rookie sensation Christian Keeling, who was a graduate transfer to UNC his senior season, completes the lineup of 6 former Tar Heels that suited up in the BBL. Which begs the question, will it be a one-shop stop, or will it be a long marriage with Coach Murray where he is building for the future? And that is your Alaska Look Back.
Man, great lead in for our guest today. He has worn the jump man on his chest. Now, star guard for the Glasgow Rocks, number 55, Christian Keeling. Christian, welcome to the show, my friend.
Glad to be here, man. Welcome.
Great to have you. Yeah, Gareth said you could only come on the show if you wore a kilt. Is this true?
Gareth did not say that. I don't believe he said that. He wouldn't air me out like that. I hope he wouldn't.
Hey, you better not, because if your boys back home see you in a kilt, you'll never hear the end of it.
There'll be some serious trouble.
Yeah, for sure.
Just tell them to watch Braveheart, and it'll just explain everything. It's all good. Yeah. So, here in the UK, look, college basketball is quite small on the radar. So, growing up, partly due to the little-known Michael Jordan, but also partly because the gear has always been so fly. North Carolina Tar Heels are a very big deal here. So it's exciting to have you in the room, and I'm sure the listeners will be keen to hear from you.
Yeah. I noticed that real quick, just asking some of the guys, I'm like, yeah, what's hot at college? The college ball or high school ball is not really big because where soccer, football, however y'all want to say it, I don't want to disrespect people over here. It's real big over here. So people think footballers, that's what y'all call it. Mm-hmm. It's the way to go. And I'm like, y'all don't have no college ball, but it was it's club ball. So it's not really competitive as it is in the States.
Yeah, so different, very different.
Yeah, but Christian, after having a successful career over at Charleston Southern, similar to Gino Crandell, who decided to move to the powerhouse Gonzaga as a graduate transfer, you moved to a powerhouse as well your senior year. And just talk to us a little bit about what went into that decision for you.
It was between them, North Carolina, and Clemson for the most part. I thought coming out of Charleston Southern, obviously I was a big-time scorer and stuff like that. But my biggest deal was to make the NCAA tournament. And I wanted to see which I think both of the teams had a good chance of making it. And at the end of the day, a lot of people don't get the chance to play at one of the Blue Bloods, especially North Carolina. And then it just seems like it was the best fit. They had lost 4 or 5 of their top scorers. So they was in rebuilding mode. So it wasn't like I was going there. I was going there to, receive minutes and stuff like that. I really liked how Coach Williams was a down-to-earth guy. He never promised me anything. He told me I had to work for everything. I already knew one of the guys I grew up with, so he gave me an insight on it. The players was very welcoming. There wasn't no hating, stuff like that. So, but the most important part that they had my grad program that I wanted to go into. Academically, they are one of the best public college in America. So, most importantly, it was the academic side. But obviously, it's hard to say no to that baby blue.
I mean, of course. And when you think of North Carolina, that is the top of the mountain when it comes to college basketball. We think North Carolina, Duke, Kansas, UCLA. So talk to us about the experience. What was that experience like, man?
Whatever you think it was, and then some. That's the best way I could put it. From head to toe, you see why it's one of the talked about schools are out. The history is so crazy. The tradition and the standard they hold us to is remarkable. The family, as soon as you put on that jersey, that family you represent, And you got players obviously like Jordan and Worthy and Dorothy and Carter. It goes on and on.
Go on and on.
And it's just amazing, man. It's still overwhelming. You just walk in that locker room, man. You see all the people that's hanging up, all these jerseys hanging up, you practicing. But then it finally realized it came the norm. So now it's like everybody look at it like, UNC is this big thing. That's the family now. That's the family. That's my school and stuff like that. But it's an amazing experience. I see why it's very few are select the experience because it's tremendous. From not even on the basketball part, because everybody thinks obviously that's great, but just off the court. They treat us high class. They treat us with with so much respect. The coaches, they spoil us. I mean, they spoil us. It's crazy how much they spoil us off the court. So yeah.
So no waiting on Southwest Airlines on road trips.
I don't think Coach Roy want to wait that long. I think he want to get there and get in the bag. I don't think he do good on commercial flights.
We call that PJs, private jets out there to our listeners.
Yeah, they are nice though. It's better than the bus rides we're doing right now. So.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. You're learning real quick on these road trips, especially where you are. Look, I'm sure this is a bad time to say, but look, I'm a Duke guy. Okay, I got a little behind the scenes from Frank Jackson. So he was a player I got to work with in Utah when he was in high school. Now in the NBA with OKC Thunder. But look, give our listeners some insight into how fierce that rivalry is.
So the last year was my first year. So I knew about it. Of course I knew about it, but I didn't know how serious it was until the week of. So the week of, everybody got my trainer was putting out news articles, and when we beat Duke, it was around town. We just F Duke, beat Duke, because they came to us first. And college game day came. That was my first time seeing that. And we had different jerseys, different kicks. I'm like, man, it's serious out here. Everybody hit me up. It's like, beat Duke, you got to. I don't care what game, y'all got to beat them. So the game came. It was maybe 2 hours before the game. First, you see all this long line, people camping out 8 o'clock. I'm like, dude, dang. It's early, it's cold too. So I'm like, oh wow, this is serious. So 2 hours before the games, we go out there and kind of warm up, man. It's packed. It's packed. I'm like, dang. So by the time I run out the tunnel, man, that was probably that 2 games, one at Carolina and one at Duke. And Duke is a small gym. I didn't know how small it was.
Yeah.
And probably the best atmosphere I played in, especially at Duke. Them Cameron
Crazies, baby, yeah.
and I was unfortunately one of the guys to take it out on the sideline. Oh man, I ain't never seen so many hands over your shoulder. It's crazy. It's unbelievable experience. It's one of the experiences that basketball players growing up would love to enjoy, and I'm just blessed and highly favored to be able to experience that.
Oh, I love it. And let's focus on the Rocks right now. I coached Gareth for a season down in Plymouth. Great player. I was really excited when I got the chance to sign him, and it was evident spending time with him that he was going to go into coaching. He's a real kind of thinker of the game. Yeah. What has he been asking from you in terms of your role? From recruiting you in and to now having you on the floor. What is he saying to you on the daily?
Put the ball in the bucket.
Sounds
green light.
But yeah, like you said, Gareth is he's a player coach, which I think is one of the most challenging things to do, especially when you think he was supposed to play for a few more years. So right now he just been just telling me to put the ball in the bucket, but do it, obviously efficiently, do it within the offense. But obviously when we need a bucket, I'm the go-to guy or whatever. But just be a better, for me, be a better playmaker, be a better thinker, when to shoot or, when to take the shots or, or it's a single side or it's a double side or maybe don't do it initially off the first ball screen. So like you said, he's a great thinker. He got an amazing IQ. So he's like, for me being a rookie, it's like good to look up to a vet like him to be our teammate and our coach.
Yeah, quick question, just like kind of on the fly as well with him as player coach. You alluded how difficult that is for him. Give us a little behind the scenes on where he is with that, because when we see the interviews with him, it looks like he's so torn. Like like you said, he's still a player and he's still got a lot of juice left, but also he does take his coaching seriously and sees just how important that role as well is. Is he kind of torn with that behind the scenes, or is he dealing with that pretty well?
When you're losing, is a lot of stuff. You kind of torn. But y'all know Garrett for a long time. He's a competitor. He's emotional guy. He loves to win. I think, just doing my research and, being around Gareth, and I think he's been around veteran guys, a lot of veteran guys, veteran teams. So, with us being a younger team, a very youngest team, I think one of the youngest team in the league,
sure.
he's juggling like, stuff that he think we should know or know, that, the veteran guys would probably, be easy. You got to keep saying the same thing over and over, which with also trying to play, he's also our starting 3 guard at the moment. So playing and then coaching, then you got to make the right subs, but you're on the court. So, I mean, I couldn't do it. So more praise to him. So, and then, with on top of losing, it just make it, it's a lot of stuff you got to go into it. And I think our thing is we're just trying to put a whole 40 minutes together. And we just being a coach, you got to find that balance being a player coach. So we're still trying to figure out, and our job is just try to make it easier for them.
Yeah, absolutely right. And Gareth and I, we actually go way back to 2005, as that was both of our rookie seasons in the BBL. And in 2013, I actually moved to Newcastle, where I played for player coach Fab Flournoy. And I was 30 years old at the time. I was in my prime. I had already won a championship, but I just remember it being like those first 6 months was like the toughest adjustment for me. But looking at you, like literally 8 months ago, you're playing for one of the college greats in Roy Williams, and now you're in your rookie season, not only playing for a rookie coach, but a player coach. How has the adjustment been for you?
Just the whole adjustment with COVID has been hard, but one thing about Gareth that make it easy, he knows the game. He got a great IQ, but it helps me personally because he was a hell of a player during his career. So it's somebody I could look up to, especially being a rookie during these tough times, and also gain as much knowledge, gain as much wisdom from him. So it hasn't really been an adjustment. Obviously, the adjustment the more big adjustment is to college ball, to professional ball, because, it's more physical in the professional level. So it hasn't really been a big adjustment, because I think both of the guys, and obviously Roy Williams is a great coach, and I think Gareth will eventually, he will be a great coach, just because his mind is so excellent.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. And look, two televised games in a row, 2 tough losses for different reasons. What do you feel you have to do as a collective to stay in the hunt for those playoffs?
We just got to get 1% better. Like you said, we're a young team. We obviously the budget cuts, stuff like that you can't control. But we just got to get 1% better each day. We got to learn from mistakes. And like I said earlier, we just got to put a 40-minute game together. I think we play good for 30 minutes or play good for 20 minutes. And then we have our lapses that the other team capitalize on. We need to cut down on turnovers, and we need to stop having lapses on defensive end. And, I think eventually, like you said, we got 2 guys, me and Ron came in. So it's a new group, and, the player coach with Gareth, we all trying to figure it out. So I think when we figure it out, I hope we can make a push to get, to the playoff push.
Yeah, that's it. Stay real close and towards the end, just making a big push. I like it. But it's early days for you, but who has been the toughest player so far you've come across?
Like, when you say that, that means like who I guarded or who
just somebody you've seen in the BBL so far, you've come across and you thought, wow, that's a tough matchup.
Shoot, like I said, it's very guard heavy. Fletcher was tough. I ain't never seen in a long time seen a guard push, like, just throw the ball like it's a baseball. Like, he just be slinging it down the court. Cortez was a good matchup. Cortez is one of them. I call him. He got an old school game. Nothing flashy.
Yeah,
He's a good matchup.
Never stand still.
Prandell was pretty impressive. I didn't really guard him much, but he was pretty impressive. He's kind of flashy, one of the more flashy ones. He was pretty impressive. Kevin is pretty good.
Like you say, man, it's a guard heavy league.
Yeah.
Every week you got somebody looking in your face eye to eye.
Yeah, because Anderson shot the ball really good against him from Worcester, the new import from there. Who was Sheffield? Yeah, it's pretty much every game is one at least one guard or two guards, and I gotta guard them, so it's always a matchup. So I mean, like I said, pretty much if I haven't seen everybody, but the teams I played, the one or the two or the three, they've been pretty good. Especially like scoring the ball. Like you said, I think most of your Americans got to be able to score the ball. So everybody's been impressive. It's been good to me because it makes me lock in more on defensive. So, yeah.
We're really spoiled for choice this year, I think, like you said, at the guard spot, and there's some really exciting players, that's for sure. Listen, before we let you go, I've got to tell you my Roy Williams story, okay, guys? I don't think Drew knows this either. So I played college ball in California, okay? And I got approached by Nike, or as you would know it, as Nike. So I got approached by Nike to help them run an event. So they approached a bunch of us as athletes, some of us that were kind of studying that, that kind of marketing and comms and stuff like that, and just said, hey, you run this event. It's going to be at Pebble Beach. We're going to bring in some names. We had no idea who those names were going to be, by the way. And the premise was that we had to make this game on one of the beaches. So there had to be this game that those guys were going to do, and then they were going to film it. So one of those guys that rocks up is obviously Roy Williams. So I got to lay on it. Yeah, it was just a ridiculously stupid game, doing loads of like little assault courses and stuff like that. But they did it really well, and I really liked him from absolute day one of kind of meeting him, because he genuinely wanted to know about us and was asking us lots of stuff, and he was a really good sport actually. Like I don't know if you can attest to that, but he kind of gets stuck in. He's not afraid to kind of laugh at himself. Is that kind of true? Yeah.
He's a real down to earth guy. He's a great mentor, a great guy to look up. He's very competitive. A lot of people don't know that he loves golf. He loves golf. He turns his phone off every time. Well, he don't know how to use his phone really because he's old school. But like he go golfing and like he turned his phone off. Like nobody talk. Like he's a big time competitive. Like he be saying like if he fight us, he would get one punch in. I'm like, Coach, you won't get no punches in. But I mean, he's a great guy. Like you said, he's very genuine. He's not one of them Hollywood guys. Or, he's a regular guy.
Seems like a player coach for sure.
Yeah, like I mean, he obviously he getting us pretty good. But like you said, there's a reason why a lot of people go there and love him, and why have so much respect for him, just because he's a genuine guy.
Yeah, one of the greats for sure. And look, Christian, it's been great having you on the show. We wish we had more time, but look, best of luck on the hunt for the rest of the season. Please tell Gareth we send our regards, and hopefully we'll see you again later on. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, sir. No problem, man. See you down the road, bro. Appreciate you.
Thanks, man. All right. Great guest right there, Drew. Now, before I let you lead us out, this is episode 21. You are number 21. So in that case, we are going to play 21s.
Let's go.
21, quick fire questions, no thinking. First thing that springs to mind. We're jumping straight in. Number 1, favorite food.
Collard greens.
Favorite music.
Champagne Poppy, Drake, baby.
Favorite BBL teammate ever.
Man, that's tough. God, I've had a lot of great teammates, but I would have to say my favorite is my boy, Ant Martin.
Oh, good call. Toughest individual BBL opponent.
Ooh, there's been some, over 16 years, the guards I've seen in this league. But if I had to say one, and this guy isn't flashy at all, he just was tough, Trey Moore.
Ooh. Favorite superhero and why?
Man, I'm not into those type of movies, man. So, I mean, I don't even know if I have. I got one. I'll say, because this was like the first cartoon I ever remember watching, He-Man. I don't know if it was even prevalent here in the UK, but go look it up if you haven't heard of it.
I need 5 or 6 right now to get a graphic with you, big blonde hair, muscles. That would be fantastic. Okay, who do you admire the most?
I would say my mom because, I grew up in a house full of women, and now I understand being a parent and watching her raise 3 kids, getting up, going to work every day, and us as kids asking why we don't have this and that, and she just continuing to just make it happen. It's got to be my mom.
Great answer. Raiders, Heat, or Eagles?
Oh, come on, Jay. Really? Golly, that's tough, man. I mean, I'll eliminate Heat right now because I was only there for like 6 months. But
I figured you would, yeah.
Eagles and Plymouth. I mean, golly. Can I say Eagles and Plymouth? Can I say both?
Yeah, just say both.
Yeah,
on,
both.
Man.
I don't want any hate mail.
This is your game. This is your game. You can do what
Eagles and Raiders fans. I love them both, man. I ain't gonna do y'all like that.
Great call, man. Great call. That just saved your social media career. Most embarrassing BBL moment.
Oh, that's easy, man. Getting a 50-point spanking in the BBL Cup final to the Everton Tigers, man. That was so embarrassing.
What's top of your bucket list?
I would say I like to travel. So I don't know, actually. Just to continue to travel the world, places like Bora Bora and I don't even know how to pronounce it. My wife keeps, talking to me about it. Santorini or whatever in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh yeah,
that spot,
White Cliffs of Santorini.
Yeah. She sends me a clip of the social media clip once a month. So, just to continue to travel the world with my family for sure.
That's it. Something we've taken for granted for a long time, I believe. Okay, what is your favorite summer activity?
Oh, easy. Just being home with the family, man. I just absolutely love being in my mom's backyard with the music pumping, the barbecue going. We got the ribs, chicken, and we got just people stopping by, hanging out, man. I love it.
Awesome. Best BBL coach played for?
I gotta go with Fab, of course. But I gotta give my guy Gary a shout out just because he gave me my first opportunity, and like, he is by far the most fun I've ever had playing basketball under him. Like, I love going to practice. I love playing. Like, it was so much fun playing under Gary. But definitely Fab for sure.
Best BBL coach played against?
I would have to go I'd have to go probably Tony G, man. I remember those teams at Everton being like, you knew they were always going to be like well prepared, and him and Rob for sure. But I'd go with Tony G probably.
They both work the sidelines, man. They work the sidelines. Wearing out those shoes. They must go for a couple of pairs of shoes a year, But what's your favorite joke?
Favorite joke? I don't think we have time for my favorite joke. I don't know. I mean, a one-liner, like. I don't
oh man, you liking yourself a little bit of comedy? Come on.
I mean,
you're a little bit of a class clown.
Oh, okay, I got you. This is my favorite joke of all time. Every time I step up in a Zoom and I look at your face, Jay.
That was like a your mama one. Oh man, killing me. Favorite
No, you
NBA
might
team?
go. I'm just having fun. Chicago Bulls. I grew up a diehard Bulls fan, and since then, like I don't have a favorite team. I just have players that I like.
Yeah.
But I could not sleep at night if the Bulls lost a game. Like that's how big of a fan I was.
Yeah. Favorite film?
Um, this is gonna be really random, but one of my favorite films is Baby Boy by Tyrese. I like those little hood movies like Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, but Baby Boy, I love
Higher
that
Learning.
movie.
You like
Yes,
that one?
I love all of those, man. Classics.
Tough. Favorite BBL season?
I would have to go the Newcastle Eagle. Uh, what year was it? 13, 14, 14, 15, Fletcher's first year. Just because like we had a clean sweep that year, but like the camaraderie on that team was unreal. Like pretty much everybody on the team was either married or had a girlfriend. So like we all hung together with the wives, like outside of basketball, and it was like a community. And it was like we had so much fun, man. Love that year.
Love it. Okay, favorite BBL jersey this season, and you can't say Eagles.
There's some hot ones out there, man.
Yeah, some good this year.
You know, I can quickly eliminate Glasgow Rocks and Surrey Scorchers because I don't like sleeves and
you don't like the sleeves?
No, and Surrey, I just saw you on Sky. You got white text on white jerseys.
No,
like,
not that one. Yeah, I hate that one.
On. I mean, let's go. Let's give Bristol some love. I like Bristol's.
It is a really tough jersey for sure. Okay, describe yourself in 3 words.
Determined, motivated, but humble.
Ooh, good. I thought you were going to have to think a little bit longer right there. Okay, favorite NBA player?
Current or old?
Whatever.
Easy. I gotta go Michael Jordan, man. Like I say, like, well, I mean, I'll go current. I go LeBron James. Like, I just love everything that LeBron stands for on the court, off the court, like the way he carries himself. What is there not to love about LeBron? I'll go with LeBron for sure.
Yeah. Best ever BBL game?
So I got 2. So I'll mention the first one because it wasn't a formal BBL statistical game because it was in the trophy, I believe. But we played Worthing Thunder in the Worthing Dome, and I dropped about 50 on them. I had like 20 in the first quarter. So yeah, go look that up. But my best game was against Chester, my 3rd year in the BBL, which was my best year. I dropped 37 on them, and I dropped a career high 7 threes. And that was the year, like after that game, I was like, it like the game slowed down, and it was like, I felt like I felt like I was on top of my game that year.
You were in the BBL matrix. That's what you were there. Okay, sing a song that describes this show.
That describes this show?
Nat is listening with keen ears. He needs something else to get stuck in his head.
Oh, you put me on the spot. Gosh, what song described
What's
this
the vibe?
show?
What's the vibe?
Oh, man. Okay, what's this? Oh, I got to go with something like with some camaraderie, like with okay, hold on. I'll just go the first song that came to mind because you know we have a good relationship not only on this show but outside of it. So here you go. Friends, how many of us have them? Friends, the one you can depend on. Let's be friends. Hey, I haven't had my green tea, so excuse me if my voice sounds a little bit crackly, guys. Sorry.
Do not ruin Mr. Lasker's dreams of becoming a singer. Okay, that wraps up getting to know our very own Drew Lasker, Mr. 21. That's it for another episode. Thanks for listening. Drew, lead us out.
As always, guys, 21. This is a special episode for sure. I remember the conversations, the first initial conversations Jay and I had talking about this show. And to see us at this point is just truly amazing. To see the constant messages we get every single week, the support. And again, we do this for you guys and we love the engagement. So just keep it coming. And we, like I said at the very first show, where you see us at is not where we're going to finish. So Jay and I are continuing along with the guys behind the scene of taking this show to the next level. And we want you guys to be part of that journey. So keep sticking with us, guys. But until next time, we're out. The show.